To personal insults and partisan bickering. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene initiating attacks on Democratic Representatives Jasmine Crockett and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
I think your fake eyelashes are messing up.
No, ain't nothing.
Hold on.
Listen.
Order.
Mr. Chairman,
That's beneath
would
even
you please regain order of your committee?
Order.
Why don't you debate me?
Mr. Chairman, the minority.
It's self-evident.
You're not.
Yeah, you're not.
Out of order.
You don't have enough
You're out of order.
intelligence.
Chair recognizes Mr. Perry. Okay, move to strike the.
I move to strike those words as well. I would like order.
Julie Sirkin is here in studio with me. That is a big treat. What isn't a treat is the fact we have to talk about this kind of dysfunction. It seems to be commonplace there, Julie, on Capitol Hill. What are we hearing from Greene and Crockett now?
Yeah, Alex, when is it not dysfunctional on Capitol Hill? I have to tell you, though, Thursday night when we were watching that oversight hearing, we weren't expecting that level of dysfunction. It was supposed to be an ordinary markup, as ordinary as that can be, to hold Attorney General Merrick Garland in contempt of Congress. This was the Republican-led Oversight Committee meeting at night. It turned into a lot of chaos, a lot of jabs traded back and forth. First started with Marjorie Taylor Greene throwing a jab at Jasmine Crockett, saying that she couldn't read or understand the material through her false eyelashes. Then Crockett retaliating to Marjorie Taylor Greene again. Here's what Crockett had to say, though, last hour to our own Katie Fang. Watch this.
Do you have any other thoughts you'd like to share for your fellow Congresswoman, Marjorie Taylor Greene?
Don't come for me. That is all that I need to tell her. Don't come for me. Listen, you know, we showed up ready to work, and unfortunately, we could not have our hearing. They're in the majority. They set the agenda. This is what they want to do. This is what they believe is a priority for the American people.
Now, obviously, Crockett and Greene are on opposite sides of the political spectrum. Crockett tried to have Greene's words struck out of the record during the committee because of the lack of decorum. That's when she retaliated and threw her remarks back at Greene. Greene, for her part, though, doubling down on her comments, posting on X the other night, saying that she said what she said. It's just a fact. Those are her quotes, not mine, but really ugly here, guys. And certainly the men on the committee, the women on the committee, did not want to be a part of it.
Yeah, let me tell you, I want to almost have to apologize because you usually bring such stellar reporting about really substantive issues. I'm almost sorry to have to ask you to talk about this, my friend, but we'll see you back here very soon on another important topic. Thank you, Julie. I want to bring in Morehouse graduate Eddie Glaude, professor at Princeton University and MSNBC political analyst. Welcome to you, my friend. So, can I get you to describe these attacks Marjorie Taylor Greene initiated? Is there any remedy to this? And who gains from this level of incivility?
Well, the only remedy actually, first of all, it's great to see you, Alex. The only remedy actually is for her constituents to vote her out of office. I think this is a deliberate effort on her part. But sometimes, sometimes the bully has to be smacked in the mouth. And oftentimes, you don't have to do it every single time the bully provokes you, but sometimes you have to. And I think it's what Congresswoman Crockett demonstrated was an unwillingness to see the space to the nonsense of the Marjorie Taylor Greenes. Now, that also participates or contributes, rather, Alex, to the kind of legitimation crisis that the House of Representatives faces. And so, on the one hand, I understand Congresswoman Crockett's response. On the other hand, there's a broader problem that we have to face, and that is the crisis that the House of Representatives represents for us these days.
Yeah, listen, I have Jasmine Crockett on my show quite often, and she always brings a terrific understanding of the depth of the issues that she is debating and what's happening on Capitol Hill. I want to almost apologize again, like I was doing to Julie, for having to utter Marjorie Taylor Greene and Jasmine Crockett's names in the same sentence, especially around this particular issue. But let's talk about the New York Times, as you know, obtaining that picture of the American flag flying upside down at Supreme Court Justice Samuel Alito's home. So in the days before the January 2021 inauguration, this had become a major symbol of Trump supporters and the election, and it was flown at the January 6th rite, and there it appears at the justice's home. Senator Dick Durbin, chair of Senate Judiciary, called for Alito to recuse himself now from all cases regarding the 2020 election as well as January 6th. And he said, quote, "The court is in an ethical crisis of its own making," and called for Congress to pass a bill for an enforceable code of conduct for the high court. How serious, Eddie, is this crisis of legitimacy for the Supreme Court?
I think it's absolutely, it's absolutely serious. When we look at their numbers, their approval ratings, when we think about the way in which the American public, the broad American public opinion, has a deep sense of doubt and skepticism about the court. Look, we're facing a legitimation crisis across three branches of government. We just talked about the House of Representatives, the Congress, lowest approval ratings in its history almost, right? We already know what's happened with the presidency, the executive branch. We're facing the first time a president has ever been hauled into court in the way that Donald Trump has been hauled into court. And now we see this in relation to the highest court in the land, the Supreme Court. It gives us a sense, a window into the crisis that our democracy faces. But we also know that the Alitos, the Thomases, they don't care. They are sitting in their positions, not with any regard for the standing of the court. They are there to do their bidding, and we have to judge them by their actions, it seems to me, and we should be deeply, deeply worried and skeptical.
Let's move to President Biden, who, as you know, gives the commencement address at Morehouse College in Atlanta tomorrow. So faculty this week voted to give him an honorary doctorate, though apparently that vote was pretty evenly split if you want to include those who abstained from the vote.